Hey, how's it going, guys? This is your boy Haze, and today in 8.1 we're going to be doing some Frost DK PvP in a battleground, and what I'm going to be attempting to do is organizing my thoughts and telling you guys exactly how I feel about Frost DK inside PvP. And now if you're expecting a video where I come out with some talents and show you the good way to do things, I'm sorry, this is not going to be the video for that. It's not really good news, but we do need to discuss it. So let's jump into this video and talk about it.
It's who we are, it's what we do, we've come so far, and now we pay the price, so don't even cry. The world is breaking down, and I cannot leave the ground.
So talking about Frost DK, and I keep getting questions about why I'm making Frost guides, and of course I'm producing some Unholy DK guides. Is Frost DK right now is legitimately, it's not a good spec. I know that we got some healing increases, we got some stun increases, but we did lose single target DPS. And realistically, one of my main problems with the spec all around is it doesn't really feel like a spec in a whole. Like Frost DK feels more like a support class, and there's no doubt about it that there isn't that much burst when it comes to Frost DK, especially when it comes to, let's say, playing your Unholy DK. Now right now I'm pumping out literally nothing. Like, look at the damage I'm pumping out. It is terrible. Right now I'd be using Decomposing Aura. I'd be using the Empowered Rune Weapon glyph, doing quite a bit more DPS. And I think the real issue when it comes to Frost, it has nothing realistically to do with our survivability. And originally it didn't have anything to do with our survivability. Now, when it came to pushing rating, obviously being able to survive is going to be a key point in whether or not you are going to be able to push higher and higher. But the thing that's obviously lacking in Frost DKs, which we can currently see, is burst when it comes to anything. Like right now, my burst is not scary. If I was Unholy right now, I definitely would have killed a few of these targets. But here's a Frost DK, especially when it comes to trying to out DPS healing capabilities, I don't have nearly enough oomph or nearly enough damage or enough mechanical strength to really be a threat to anyone. And that's realistically why nobody's playing a Frost DK right now. That's why literally everyone's converting over to Unholy. And it comes down to legitimately where your death strikes are. And of course the fact that Frost DKs really don't have any burst. I'm not even tickling people is what I'm saying right now. Like, you can see this video. This is a clear point and a clear reference to what I'm talking about. Frost DKs, while in team fights, cannot produce enough damage. Like, I am just getting... I had nothing. I could do absolutely nothing. I was completely useless in that fight. Completely and utterly useless in that fight. And, you know, I may have done an okay amount of damage, but let's look at this here, and let's be realistic. It was Frost Fever Dots, it was Melees, it was Howling Blasts, and some Obliterate damage in there, but it's hitting for 8.9k Obliterate on a crit. Are you kidding me? Like 5k damage? This should be so much higher. For a Frost DK to be viable right now, the only course of action you could take is literally to increase the Obliterate damage. And the reason being, and this is why Unholy is so much stronger than Frost, is because Frost or Unholy DKs can use Festering Strike, which obviously hits a lot harder than Obliterate. Obliterate maxed out at 8k. My Festering Strikes can hit for 20k. If I have cooldowns rolling a couple buffs from other people, my Festering Strikes can literally hit for above 20k. There's no way in heck an Obliterate's going to hit that hard from a Frost DK. Now, the only way that you can actually accumulate a large amount of damage on your Frost DK to reach a high amount of burst, obviously, is to pop your Pillar of Frost, dump in a bunch of runes on him, and then use your big Frost Strikes when you're rune starved and you have Latent Chill up. That's literally your biggest production of damage. But to do this, obviously, you have to spend your runic power into your Frost Strikes and not using it on your Death Strikes, which causes you to lose a ton of DPS, just a ton. Like, I'm not even tickling this rogue. Like, look at this. Look at this. I'm barely even tickling this guy. It's a joke. Like, Frost damage right now is an absolute joke, and I've been saying it all expansion that Frost literally has no burst. Pillar was nerfed into Oblivion. Obviously, Cold Heart was nerfed into Oblivion. Breath of Sindragosa received another nerf, which that was more likely a PvE nerf, but it didn't need to be nerfed inside PvP instances. Alright, and the fact that we lost Decomposing Aura and then we lost our Empower Glyph, alone reduces the sheer amount of single target cooldowns and abilities we're going to be able to proc to deal single target pressure. Like, my damage coming out right here is a joke. It's an absolute joke. These guys can basically laugh at it. Look at this. This is terrible. And it's not like I have terrible gear. I'm 379 with this equipped gear. Obviously, I can push it a lot higher if I put on other gear, but this is going to be the best build I have. And it's just so laughable. This damage is so unthreatening. And of course, I'm CC locked, which realistically isn't going to change much since the majority of my damage is going to be coming from a Howling Blast. But watch how, look how much I can actually pressure this Shaman. Look how much pressure I actually get out. None. None. I'm bursting right now. This is my full burst. I am going as hard as I can go right now on this Shaman. And if I sacrifice for death strikes because I'm dying right now, all my burst is going to go down the drain and I literally can do nothing. My job is just chase this guy around and try to kill him. This is all I'm going to try to do right now. It's not going to happen. As Unholy, this guy would have been long dead. Finally, he goes down. I mean, that took so long. That damage, that burst, that consistency is just so terrible. It's absolutely terrible. It needs to change. Like, Frost DKs can't stay this way. And Blizzard expect people to actually want to play this class. It's bad, guys. It's bad. Now, the only thing that I can slightly say Frost is kind of good at is team fights. Outside of that, healing, consistency, damage, burst, it is definitely weaker than Unholies are. Now, once the healers kind of wear off, my damage seems to, like, you know, kind of affect people. But the majority of the time when you're sitting CCs and roots and you're not able to get close to the target as Frost, you're obviously not going to have any damage output. Like, my damage would be so much scarier as Unholy right now than it is as Frost. Just, it's not even a comparison. And the only reason that Frost DKs look like they can deal enough damage, obviously we got Recount down here, is because of Frost Fever. And for some reason, Unholy DK's dots hit just about the same as a Frost DK's dots, which doesn't really make a lot of sense to me, because Frost DK should have a lot more upfront pressure. Maybe it's the idea that they're going for, but personally, making a Frost DK like an assist class over a full-on DPS class is not a good idea for me. And realistically, putting a lot of the majority of Frost DK's burst into Chill Streak is a terrible build. Like, it's a terrible build. I mean, the majority of the time, you can't get the burst off. Look at this. I've got a monk here. I've got 2 casters. Let me know at any point in time when I'm DPSing on this monk that casting Chill Streak... Right now, he's dead. He's dead. The fight's already over. The point that I could have Chill Streaked and actually used the ability, the fight is over. Now, obviously, my damage is going to be fairly high. My team didn't do the greatest. My healing wasn't nearly great. I mean, obviously, I out-healed the other DPS because of the recent healing buffs that we got. But, you know, I lose a lot of damage when I go into that. And realistically, all those reasons combined is why I'm not playing Frost right now and why I do not want to make Frost DK videos. This video was kind of hard to make, and really, it felt like it was really hard for me to organize my thoughts and kind of present them. So I figured I'd just do a battleground, show you guys exactly what I'm talking about, and then just see what you guys have to say. I can imagine you guys aren't currently happy about Frost DKs either, especially when I feel so frustrated to the point that I literally feel absolutely useless inside of PvP 1v1 or battlegrounds. I mean, I could win some 1v1s as Frost. It's definitely doable, but I'm just, it's still terrible. Like, survivability is better. Our damage is worse than it was, and realistically, the main problem was the damage. So we're literally worse than we were from where we begun when it comes to damage. So that's where I'm leaving it. That's going to be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed my reasons. It's probably not good news, and I'm sorry for that, guys. I know I usually get more dislikes and a couple unsubs because I have to bring some bad news about Frost, but I mean, it's got to be talked about, guys. That's the only way something's going to change. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Leave a like if you did. Until next time, this was your boy Hazzed.